champagne's been popped. The wine is not flowing. You know where we're going. We're going to back out to our number tour guide, Captain Zach. So anyways, it's Jana.
Yep.
We're here to crunch some numbers today.
I love crunching those numbers.
We're giving our thoughts on DVC membership.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
That's really actually for you to decide. But we're going to discuss it all, and then you can make an informed decision.
Yeah. Well, it's very hard to say because the price points are completely different than when we did it.
Yeah. So today I pulled out our contract from when we got it in May 2014 and looked through all those numbers, and then I went on the DVC website to get, kind of like some quick quotes of what it's looking like. But before we get into the number crunching, I want to talk about everything that comes with DVC. Like what it is.
Monthly payments.
Well, that's part of the number crunching. But I think, first and foremost about, like what it is.
Corporate greed.
It's basically a timeshare program with Disney. But instead of, like with most timeshares, you're signing up for like a specific date every year, you can use it however you want. You purchase in for however many points you want to do. When we signed up, the minimum was 100 points per year, but now the minimum is 150 points per year, which is actually what we have. We have 150 points per year, and you get those every single year through the life of your contract, which will vary depending on when you sign up for it.
Yeah. And it's all the go over the DVC resorts, like who's on the DVC circuit.
Sure. Yep. I've got the list right here.
And points correlate to like how many points per day it costs to basically
per night.
Yeah. It's like per night. It's like, say it's 10 points per night. So if you had a 5-day vacation, it's 50 points,
right.
But it's all prorated.
Right.
Not prorated, but like it's like time of year it's going to change and fluctuate.
Yeah.
So like February is going to be lower than like December in the beginning or end or
right.
whatever.
Or January and September are usually the cheapest months.
September is?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And obviously, December, like Thanksgiving, Christmas time, New Year's, those are going to be the most expensive times to go because that is peak season. So, and I should have pulled numbers up as examples, but I did not. But like, say like normally Animal Kingdom Lodge is like 9 points a night for the off season. You go during New Year's
Christmas
or something.
Yeah.
It's going to be, like 20 plus points per night.
And then if it's a different size room, it's going to go up even more. So.
Yep. So the DVC resorts, they offer a deluxe studio, which is what we usually get, and that is going to have 2 beds. One will be a pull down or a pull out couch, and then like an actual king or queen size bed. It'll have a kitchenette, which comes with a mini fridge, a sink, toaster, and microwave, and then some flatware and a full size coffee maker. And then, it's obviously going to have a full bathroom. Some of the
Just a half bath.
well, no, some of the deluxe studios have 2 full bathrooms.
Oh,
like we're talking about like Polynesian and Grand Floridian. Those are the 2 I can think of off the top of my head that like, they not necessarily 2 full bathrooms, but they have 2 showering areas that are separate.
Yeah.
Which is very convenient when you have kids.
So the DVC, it's all 3 main monorail ones.
Well, here, let me go through the list.
I want to try. I want to try to get them all. Ready?
I don't want to check stuff off.
Well, I think I'm.
All right. I was going to do them in order they opened, but okay.
Okay. Polynesian.
Yes.
Contemporary, which is Bay Lake Tower.
Mm-hmm. And I want to note too, Polynesian is now, there's Polynesian villas and bungalows, and there is also, which just opened last year in December, Island Tower at Disney's Polynesian. And we're going to get into that in a little bit, but
exciting.
Yeah.
Floridian.
Yes.
Old Key West.
Yes.
Saratoga.
Yeah.
I'm blanking. Hang on.
Can I just go through this
Is
list?
Boardwalk on it?
Yes.
Okay, Boardwalk.
Yeah.
Is Beach and Yacht?
Beaches, yacht is not.
Oh, those aren't. Huh. What did I think those were?
Beaches, yacht is not.
Oh, beach is, yacht is not. Okay.
Yeah.
You just kind of slurred everything together, sounding like an insane person.
Well, you know what? It's late.
Riviera.
Yes.
Yes.
Good job.
I nailed that one. And how many am I missing?
You're missing at least 5.
Whoa. Okay. 5.
2, actually 7.
Animal Kingdom. I'm trying to think of ones we stayed. Animal Kingdom Lodge and...
You're missing 7.
I'm missing 7 still? How is this possible?
Because you are forgetting about the non-Disney World ones and some that have opened.
Wait, what are the non... Okay, now you fill me in now, because now I'm confused.
Okay, going in order.
Oh, that's Vero Beach is like Hilton Head.
That is not. Those are 2 separate things, 2 separate states.
What's Vero Beach?
That's in Florida.
What's the Hilton Head one?
In Hilton Head.
It's just called Hilton Head?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's stupid.
So Old Key West was the first one and it opened in 1991. And going from there was Vero Beach, Hilton Head Island, Boardwalk Villas, Wilderness Lodge, Boulder Ridge, Beach Club Villas, Saratoga Springs, Animal Kingdom, Bay Lake Tower, the villas at the Grand Floridian, Alani, villas at Grand Californian. Actually, I swapped those two. It should be Grand Californian, then Alani, then Grand Floridian. Polynesian villas and bungalows, Wilderness Lodge, Copper Creek, Riviera, villas at Disneyland Hotel, which just opened.
So you're doing
almost
ones
2
that I
years
didn't
ago.
know about, like in other states.
Well, that's your problem.
No, not really.
Cabins at Fort Wilderness and Island Tower at Disney Polynesian.
These are all just made up.
Yes, Disney makes them up and then
They make them up. I don't believe you.
And there is one that is currently being built where River Country used to be.
I don't know what that is.
That was might have been the first water park at Disney. It closed because of bacteria in the water, but it also was like you were swimming in Bay Lake. So not only did the bacteria become an issue, but, obviously gators.
Oh, sounds safe and awesome.
So they closed it down and you could still see remnants of it.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. But
I've
I think
never heard of that.
now that they're obviously building.
Do they have a wave pool? I loved wave pools.
No, but there is one at, I think, Typhoon Lagoon.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. That's the end of that. We named them all. That's all we need to do, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to remember where we left off.
We just named them all.
Yeah. No, before that.
We were talking about like price points of like and like how much the point system costs versus when we bought in. So like
okay. So
it's
the
hard
points,
to recommend it because it costs a lot more.
We're not even there yet. You are like ending the episode.
Yeah, let's just end it.
No. Okay. So
good night.
Back to the point system.
There's too much pollen in the air.
So you're allotted so many points every year and you choose how much you want to buy in at. And you get those points every single year. And say, you don't use all your points this year, you can do what's bank 'em, which is essentially it banks any of your leftover points and it rolls them to the next use year. And then say, you're going to be like using more points than you have available during your use year, you can borrow from the future year.
Back to the future.
So, when COVID hit, we went to Disney, stayed at Bay Lake Tower February 2019, and then we did not go back to Disney until September 2020. So we had a lot of points available.
Ballers.
Yeah. We were living large, that extra.
Get one of those one bedroom suites or whatever.
Man.
Full kitchen.
Yeah. So some of the perks of being a DVC member is one, you pretty much are already paid for. Anytime you go to Disney, like your hotel is, once you pay off that initial contract, it is free. And the contracts are for 50 years from the construction date. So what that means is when we bought into the Grand Floridian, it was brand spanking new. We got that contract for 50 years.
The Floridian wasn't the place they built was, not the Floridian itself.
Right. The add-on that they had to the Floridian that was specifically for DVC.
Which has a penguin fountain in the lobby.
Yes.
From Mary Poppins.
Okay. But now say you want to buy into, let's say the Polynesian, because that still has stuff available. That opened in 2015. Your contract is 50 years from 2015, which actually I wrote this down when it expires.
You get 40 years.
Yeah, at this point you're getting 40 years instead of 50, but you are still paying for 50 years.
Ew.
Yeah, they don't reduce it.
That's kind of lame.
Yeah.
So no one's buying into Old Key West. Oh, there's no rent.
Well, there's nothing available. So, the bulk of the selling is going to be done when it is in construction, like right before it opens. And that's when you want to buy in my opinion. So you get the most life out of your contract, the most use out of it. And then, whatever they sell online is just completely dependent on what's available. And when I looked today, there was the Riviera, the Polynesian.
Riviera's like 3 years old, right? Something like that.
I think that was 2017. Let me look at my list.
That old? It's 8 years old now?
2019.
Okay.
2019.
6 years old.
Wilderness Lodge Copper Creek is 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Riviera, Polynesian, Alani, which Alani became available in 2011, and they still have not been able to sell it all off.
Explain home resorts to people, because that's a big deal.
Yeah, this is huge. So what you buy into is called your home resort, and you can book your home resort 11 months in advance. And I got to we bought into the Grand, and
we've never used it.
We did.
We used it like once, I think,
2020. And well, okay, so here's the thing. At least for the Grand, I think it's the same for like the Polynesian too, usually Riviera, a lot of the newer ones. As soon as that 11-month mark hits, which like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 11 months in advance, that people can start booking it, it goes so fast, especially just for the deluxe studio size. It's like there'll be like, the 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom villas available.
Then how far in advance can you book for regular stuff? It's like 6?
For non-home resorts. So we're at the Grand Floridian and we want to stay at Polynesian. We have to wait until 7 months before our check-in date.
Yeah, so we lose 4 months of booking time.
And while I do say like 7 months before your check-in date, it is only good for 7 days from the check-in date. So we usually do like Saturday to Saturday contracts, or Saturday to Saturday stays. But if I go on the 11-month mark, for that Saturday check-in date, it's only going to give me Saturday to Friday.
Boo.
Yeah, so I have to like wait an additional day.
And then by that point, it's already booked up.
Yeah, it may or may not be. Right now,
This is why we always stay at Saratoga.
Yeah, I do have us staying at the... So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and get the room booked at the Grand Floridian at that 11-month mark, just to make sure that we have a room. And then once that 7-month mark comes around, I will see what is available and move us to a different resort.
Because I'd rather be at the Poly.
Well, we'd rather be... Well, I mean, the Grand is my favorite, but for the amount of points, so...
It's way more.
It's way more. For instance... We're going to go in February 2020. What year will that be? 6.
2027.
I can only say 2022. Like, that's not right. I booked us there, and that's 143 points.
Ooh.
So almost our full contract year. But when that 7-month mark becomes available, if Animal Kingdom Lodge is there, if Saratoga is there, I can move us to that for like half the price.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's why we end up usually those two are the ones we stay at the most. Saratoga by far we stay the most.
Yeah. Animal Kingdom Lodge we stay at a fair amount.
Yeah.
But my personal opinion, which whenever we do our Animal Kingdom Lodge episode, it's only worth it if you're getting a Savannah View room.
Yeah, it's pretty boring if you look at the other one.
Yeah. And that's another way that the points
rooms
work.
are nice though.
Yeah, the rooms are great. But that's another point for this too, is the amount per night also depends on the room type you're getting, not just like the deluxe studio, the 1-bedroom villa, the 2-bedroom, whatever. It's also about the view that you're getting, or location. So like Saratoga is just going to have a standard room or preferred room, and preferred is going to put you closer to the front, since Saratoga is a larger resort. But like Animal Kingdom Lodge has resort view, water view, and Savannah view. And, it's like resort view is going to be the cheapest, water view's mid, and Savannah's the most expensive points wise. And that also reminds me, back to describing the rooms.
Okay.
Because we stopped at Deluxe Studio.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so a lot of the resorts will have 1, 2, or 3 bedroom villas, and they are absolutely phenomenal. Obviously very expensive with points, but like you get...
Some of those people have like 1,000 points.
You get a full kitchen, you get a dining area, you get a washer-dryer combo. Which,
that's a big deal.
That's a big deal for me because I love doing that laundry.
I love doing laundry when I'm there just to be like...
Well, you know what? I like being comfortable.
Well, that's how you got packed for Disney. Yeah. You're always sweating, you're always changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like the 2 bedrooms, with the 1 bedroom, I guess let's start there. There's going to be a master bedroom that has a bathroom attached to it that you can also enter through the common area. And then there's going to be a pull down bed in the living area. With a 2 bedroom, that typically is going to be a master bedroom with the, a full bathroom, and you've got the living area, kitchen, dining area. And then you also get like a separate bedroom that is generally going to have 2 queens and its own full bathroom too.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Way more space than we're used to.
And these are also rooms that you can pay cash for if you don't have DVC. It is incredibly expensive though. You're looking at usually around like $1,000 a night.
Woof.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
We've only managed to stay in the villas twice. We did a 2 bedroom once at Saratoga when my mom came with us when we did the Star Cruiser, and then a 1 bedroom last year again at Saratoga. So that's again though, with DVC you're only going to be at deluxe resorts. So getting back into the perks, they will sometimes do events like Moonlight Magic. They usually do those 2 to 3 times per park every year, and those are a lot of fun. They can be hard to get into even if you're a member staying on property. There's always kind of like not necessarily a lottery you have to enter. You just go online when they tell you to, and you get put into a virtual waiting room and just wait to see if you get it. But we have done it. It's a lot of fun.
Fun characters like Lewis.
Yes. So we did the Moonlight Magic at Magic Kingdom in 2019. And they had a bunch of rare characters out. And they also did like at the after hours parties where you get the snacks included.
It's like free soda, free water, free snacks.
Yeah. Now,
ice cream.
2 years ago, I took Olivia to Animal Kingdom for Moonlight Magic because it was like on her birthday. It's her favorite park. And they gave you vouchers that time. And it was like a quick service meal per person and like a snack per person.
See, I prefer that actually. I'd rather just get like a dinner and like a snack.
Yeah, but
'cause I'm like, I don't want ice cream. I wouldn't mind a soda, I guess, but
yeah,
popcorn.
Yeah. So, I mean, we used it at Satuli Canteen and then on some French fries later.
Nice.
Yeah. And so they're very fun. They're fun events. You also get the opportunity to buy a discounted annual pass.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. It's right now I think it's like a little over $1,000. And then when you renew, they do that $100 discount. But it's for the Sorcerer's Pass, which is only available if you're a DVC or a Florida resident, and it's like one step below the Incredipass, which is
Incredipass. That's stupid.
I know that one's close to $1,600 now. And
what's the regular price on the Sorcerer's Pass?
$1,000. It's the same that we pay for DVC.
Okay.
It's just you have the option to buy it, whereas ordinarily it's just a Florida resident that can buy it. Yeah. But since you're DVC, you technically own property in Florida, therefore...
We're Florida residents.
No. But that's kind of how they view it.
You also get like the 10% on everything, don't you?
20%.
Is it 20% on merch?
It's a 20% discount on merchandise if you're a DVC member. At Disneyland, California, I think it's 10%.
And then sometimes and you can get food discounts too at some places.
At some places,
no quick service though.
No,
I don't think they've ever mentioned a quick service, but it's pretty decent perks for that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same as annual pass usually, like discounts.
Yeah, the only thing about the Sorcerer Pass is that there are blockout dates, but for us, it's not when we'd go.
I'm not going peak time.
Yeah, because it's usually like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving through that weekend. and then like the weekend before Christmas through New Year's. So it's like for us, we're not setting foot in the parks during that time.
No.
So it doesn't matter that it's blocked out. They used to actually have like a week in April blocked out for spring break, but they took that away.
What else you got for us?
I think that's the bulk of it for like the perks and everything.
Yeah.
And just about
I was
DVC.
mainly thinking like the value you get from this, because like it's obvious we haven't paid for like lodging most of the time for like what is like a decade now and some change.
About 11 years.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you do pay for it because you are buying a contract, but let's get into the numbers now.
Let's get into the number. She's excited. She's got her charts in front of her. She made a spreadsheet.
Excel's my best friend.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm going to...
Her favorite movie is books. She's got copious amounts of paper in front of her.
All right. So Grand Floridian. We purchased this in May 2014. And the reason behind this is because I was a Disney cast member. We were getting 50% off the rooms, and I knew that I was leaving the company. I was very unhappy, and I was about to go on a study abroad program, and we were going to Disney right before that. It's when we did the Expedition Everest 5K, when they still had that.
That's a fun one.
That was a fun one. And we were like, we had checked it out when we were there on our honeymoon, but it's just like, we just got married. We just spent a ton of money on the wedding, not happening this time. And
they also gave us like free money.
Yeah. They gave us like gift cards for just checking it out.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
Like
Yeah.
I was like, sure, I'll hear your spiel.
Yeah. So we, we were just kind of like, these are our trips, we were going like 4 times a year. We were going a lot. That no kid life and 50% off rooms, and
yeah, we were paying like nothing for rooms anyway.
Yeah,
because we're always at All Star.
And that's also when the annual passes were like only $500 each.
Yeah.
So we were living large.
All right.
But so since I was leaving, we were like, we want to be able to continue to do this. So we went and we listened to another spiel for DVC. And the nice thing is when you do this, they don't pressure you at all, because they kind of have the mentality of this sells itself, which it kind of does. But anyways, we bought it in 2014. So it was brand new. We were getting it for a full 50 years. We bought it in 150 points at $155 per point. So after the point calculation, our fees, there were no discounts because it was brand new. And they were actually trying to push us to Animal Kingdom, but because there was like a big discount, like I think about a $20 per point discount. But
it was less years, wasn't it?
It was fewer years, and I love the Grand, so we did that. But so the total after the like contract fees, which is the normal stuff that you would pay during closing.
Yeah, it's because you're signing like
it's a mortgage.
Yeah, it's
basically.
basically a mortgage. I think a small mortgage.
Yeah, it came to $23,781.
It's just like a normal trip to Disney.
Our down payment, we opted for the 20%. You can do 10% or 20%. We did a 20% down payment, and the 20 to 10%, that's calculated on the purchase price excluding the fees. So that was $4,670. So the total amount we financed was $19,111. And they give you the option of doing a 5 or 10-year loan. And we did the 10-year loan, which put our monthly payment at $252.45 per month. And there is no payoff early penalty. So when we sold our house back in 2021, 3 years before our contract but before the loan would have matured, we went ahead and paid it off. But the total with interest would have been $34,984.92.
Oof.
Yeah, but we didn't pay that full amount.
I feel like though, with the amount of times we've gone, it's well overpaid for itself. I didn't realize how expensive rooms had gotten.
Yeah.
Like when you ever tell me like, oh, this had been like $700-800 a night. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So like a week would have been like $5,600, like $6,000, something crazy like that. And I'm just like, that would have been like
Right.
if we did 4 of these trips, the DVC would have been paid for.
Well, here's like another comparison too.
Because I would be like, we're not staying at any of these resorts if we didn't have this. I'd be staying at All-Star all the time.
So we're going, we're going on our cruise in May, and I did book us at a resort for the night before in case we decide we want to go and have an extra park day there. And I can cancel up to 7 days before. But so, it's just like, I love Port Orleans French Quarter. We've also never stayed at Riviera, and Riviera was available for the one night. So I did, I booked us using my travel agent discount at Port Orleans French Quarter, and it was roughly like $250 after the discount. And I booked us at Riviera for the night as well. And with my calculation of like the price per point plus the price per point for the annual dues, the nightly cost for Riviera was about $210. So it was actually cheaper on a dollar amount using points per night than Port Orleans French Quarter. So that just kind of gives you the comparison. And if you wanted to book that same room at the Riviera, like not using DVC, not using a discount or something, it would have been like around $500.
That's less than I thought for Riviera, actually.
So
these are still like whenever, like, because we would always stay at All-Star, and then once we stayed at Port Orleans, we're like, oh, we're moderate people now. But then like now we can only pretty much stay at the Deluxe because that's all DVC is.
Yeah.
But it's way more expensive now.
Yes.
So it's hard to be like,
I have those numbers too.
Tell him, Maddie.
So I did a couple of different things. So if you're doing a new contract, because the add-on was a little bit cheaper, they give you a little bit more of a discount if you're adding on versus purchasing new. Like you already have an existing contract, so you're adding on. So this is a new contract. So I did two properties.
This is wild already.
Yeah. So Grand Floridian is no longer available. So I ran the numbers for the Polynesian since that opened, around the same time as the Grand Floridian, like the contracts went on sale. And that contract expiration is in 2066. So
flying cars, baby.
41 years from now. So you're not even going to get it for the full 50-year contract.
Yep.
150 points. The price per point now is $235.
Ooh.
So $80 more per point than we paid, including the fees. And they were offering a discount, which was $900. The total is $35,248.91.
So it's already gone up over 10 grand.
12 grand.
12 grand.
Roughly 12 grand.
I said over 10 grand. So
and
that was correct.
It wouldn't let me manipulate the down payment to do 20% for comparison purposes since we did 20%. It only showed the 10%. $3,525 down payment. So you're financing $31,723.91. And it had the monthly payment calculated based on an interest rate of 15%.
Ooh.
So they do a fixed interest rate, which means it's not going to fluctuate. What you get is what you get. And it's going to vary between 9.99% up to 18%. Ours was like 9.99% on our contract, but this is just going to auto calculate at 15%. The monthly payment, $498.96 for 10 years.
That's a lot.
So with interest, you're actually paying $63,400.20.
Ouch.
Now going to Fort Wilderness.
Okay.
Just because that's the newest. The newest one, it opened around...
what's it called?
The cabins at Fort Wilderness.
Oh, just the cabins.
Yeah, so the cabins already existed. They were considered a moderate resort, and they tore them all out and replaced them and turned it into a DVC property.
Oh.
So, and when they did that, you could buy in. And that was like September 2025 that they opened. 2024 that they opened.
In the future.
And that contract expires January 31st, 2075. So we're going to get it for a full 50 years, 150 points, $235 per point. This one came with a discount of $2,400. And your total then would be $33,741.31 down.
That sounds like a better deal.
Down payment of 10%.
Because you can give, you can will this away too. So
yes, you can will it. Which, I mean, if we were to buy in right now on a 50-year contract, we'd have to will it.
Yeah, I mean,
So your down payment, $35.25 to 10%. Total finance, $30,216.31. Your monthly payment at a 15% interest rate.
50% interest. That's good credit.
Yeah. And again, these are 10-year loans. $477.17, meaning you pay $60,785.40.
Yeah.
Compared to when we bought it 10 years ago, $34,984.
Yeah.
You know, so that is quite a jump. If you could go back in time and buy it, I'd say yes, it's 100% worth it.
But now it's like, it's starting to get a little out of reach for like, I mean,
yeah.
Depends how much money you're making, I guess, but and how much you go to Disney to make it actually worth it, because we were going all the time.
Yeah, and we still go all the time.
And also, it like the way we went though, it paid for itself.
Yes, I mean, it has paid for itself time and time again, especially with how expensive the rooms are now, and that we're staying at a deluxe resort.
We probably saved thousands in discounts at this point. So.
We have, but you know, and we're saying that it's really expensive now, but think about 10 years from now.
Yeah. Like,
how is that going to be?
I asked your coworker, Bill, right? He had it too, like in.
Oh yeah. So,
I was asking you how much he bought in for, because it was.
Back at the Disney store, one of my coworkers, Bill, he was probably like 20, 30 years older than me. He had bought into the Vacation Club a long time ago, like I think 90s, early 2000s, something like that. And, you know, obviously I don't know how much he paid or price per point or anything like that. But back when he bought into it, it came with free tickets.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was an annual pass or if it was like a when you come, you get in for free thing. But it like.
Bring that back.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's, you know, just like Disney, they're kind of taking away the perks.
Yeah.
You know, I did also look up historical price per point.
Yeah.
So when Old Key West went on sale in 1991, $51.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's $51 per point. And then, you know, it obviously slowly increases. By 2001, it was $75 per point. So 10 years later, 2011. Oh, and I do want to note that up until June 2007, it did not matter what resort you're buying into. That was the price per point.
They're all the same. Huh.
Yeah. Then let's go 10 years later to 2011, jumped up to like $140.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, for BLT. What's BLT?
Bacon last meal.
Backlot tours.
Backlot tours. BLT. We should have sandwiches, their logo.
What is BLT?
The point is, it's like...
Oh, Bay Lake Tower.
Oh. It's exponentially like going up, I feel like now.
Yeah.
Like it's just going like skyrocket, because I think they're like, you know, I don't know. It's just...
The fact that like...
It's already like...
We bought it at $155 and now it's like $235.
Yeah.
And I will say, so like, if you ever go to the DVC website, they always have some sort of discount promotion going for the most part. If they don't buy into it then. Wait like a week and come back. You know?
Make that decision a week later.
I would also suggest not doing it online. Go in person. Do it in person. Tour the rooms.
The rooms. The rooms are fun. Like the little room tour things are awesome.
Yes. So at Saratoga Springs is where they have their main selling center, and you can tour a room there. Also, sometimes you can finagle it to where you can meet at Animal Kingdom Lodge, do a room tour there. But Disney also just announced recently that in the Canada Pavilion at Epcot, they are going to have room tours there now. Where? There is a building there that was like never used or anything. I forget what it's called. It's a French name, so I'm not even going to try. But they put in for the island tower at the Polynesian. They put that in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can go do that and check that out there.
It's got the DVC Lounge in Epcot. That's another perk.
Yes, and they just opened the DVC Lounge at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, where's that?
Where the Frontier Shooting Gallery used to be.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a lounge.
It's just like it's above the Figment ride, so it's above
Where the
Journey
little
Imagination.
glass pyramid is.
So if you're in the gift shop, there's like the stairs that like these people are guarding basically.
Yeah.
And you have to put your name in and go up, and it's like this little. You're in that little glass weird building that you see, and you never know what it is. That's the DVC lounge.
Yeah, and it's complimentary beverages and snacks.
Yeah, they got like a Coke remix machine and a bunch of snacks out, and it's just nice, cool.
Freestyle.
There's stuff your kids can do and like activities just to relax and get out of the heat.
Yeah.
So
now the one we haven't been to the one in Frontierland yet because it literally just opened a couple of weeks ago.
we'll report back soon.
But one of my Insta friends and our listeners went, and I asked her about it, and she actually posted a room tour, or not a room tour, a tour of it and some feedback on it. And she said that there are fewer outlets for charging. It's smaller, and there is not
It sounds
as
disgusting.
kid friendly.
Is it still a shooting gallery? You still can shoot stuff.
No, it's a fun like Frontierland theme.
But I can't shoot anything.
Lame. It's still nice, you know, because you get to go.
It's just getting out. It's a lot of it's just getting out of the sun and getting free like soda and just chilling for a little bit just to calm down.
There usually are waits, you know, to get in.
Yeah, we usually put our name in and then just
go ride Figment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, you'll get like a text and it's like, just like with a table service dining reservation, you say you're here, then, you know, you'll get a text and you have to be back to the host stand within 10 minutes or something.
So, final thoughts, would you recommend it then? It's tough. It's tough at that price point.
It's tough now at this price point. One more thing I do want to note too is that like,
especially if you're not getting as many like 50 years, like the full year thing.
Yeah. So. And that's another thing too, like 2 years ago at the Grand Floridian, Disney converted one of their buildings into being another DVC room, and they're called Resort Studios. And the crappy thing is they don't have kitchenettes. It's just like a normal room. So it's already not as good.
Doesn't have a bathroom. Doesn't have a bed. You
know, they aren't made bigger like the DVC rooms are either. You don't get the double bathroom like the DVC room has, but it's the same price point. But say you wanted to buy into those specifically, like, because whenever they create like a new building or something that already has an existing DVC, they're not gonna
take the years off still. It still counts for like the last.
It counts for the original construction date. So like the Island Tower at Polynesian.
That doesn't count.
No.
Is it counting for the bungalows then? What are they doing?
The bungalows opened with the rest of the Poly DVC.
So that's what's going by.
Yeah.
When was that?
2015. So
a lot of these ones are still like losing 10 years of your.
Yes, but
and still paying the 50 years.
I was told by
an insider.
Not an insider. I was told by I was told by someone who recently bought into DVC, like in the last few years, that you can negotiate. And you can negotiate to get a lot of extra points added to your account, especially if you're not buying in brand new, you know? So,
that's a good idea. That's
so that is good. So, I mean, like, I don't know how well it would work, but I'd be like, if this is a 10-year-old thing, I want an extra 1,500 points right now.
1,500.
You know, to make up for
every
that.
Year.
Yeah.
Is it like negotiating for a car? Those are fun. I can do that. That'd be fun.
I don't know. Negotiate. I'm not a negotiator.
You gotta just be able to walk away.
Yeah. But that's the thing is that they do so well that
they can't.
Yeah.
They're like, go ahead, walk away. We don't care. Like, no, you want my business.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, worth a shot. Like the worst thing they say is no.
No.
You know?
They say, no, you're banned from Disney. Don't ever try to do that again.
I will say too, online it did say just FYI, if you're concerned about financing or something, I think you have to have a minimum credit score of 675, and you can't have any, you know, like tax liens or any bankruptcy filings or anything like that.
This is shocking.
I know, right?
Well, you didn't really give me a concise answer of like, would you recommend it? If you go to Disney a ton, I guess yes.
If you go to Disney a lot, and you can use your points on Disney cruises. I would not recommend it. Just because you're looking at like 300 points per person for a single cruise.
Ugh,
yeah.
that's too much.
I personally just don't think that's worth it. And I don't know, it's just, especially when you see these with interest prices, how much you're paying, like $63,000, that's a lot of money.
If you saved up and paid off quickly
in chunks,
it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
But if you go like 2-3 times a year and you want to stay at like really good, like the high-end resorts,
yeah, I mean,
then yes.
Well, and too, thinking about the future, like when we bought in, we didn't have kids. We knew we wanted kids, but we did not have kids. And now having a deluxe room with kids, it's like, it's amazing. And then let's not forget about those deluxe room perks of like the extra magic hours at night.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's nice. Not like the only, I think we have
the
like
mini fridge. That is huge to me.
We have like a yearly fee though. There's like
oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
It's
so
like taxes, I guess. What is that? I can't remember.
So it's maintenance fees and it's taxes.
So like that is like $1,000 a year.
Yeah, it's. I've seen it be anywhere from $800 to $1,300 a year for us.
Kind of fluctuates.
Yeah, and it's going to depend on the number of points that you buy into and where your resort is located, because Disney World, for instance, is in 2 separate counties. And you've also got, like Grand Californian and Disneyland Vilos. Those are in California. And then you have like Aulani in Hawaii. So one reason that they have issues selling Aulani is because of how
taxes are way
high the taxes are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also too, like,
is the California one, are they way higher too?
I would assume.
Yeah.
You're in Anaheim. Yeah. But then too, it's like with Aulani and the whole home resort thing.
Yeah.
You're kind of getting the scraps at 7 months out, because is anybody actually going to Aulani every year?
Yeah. I'm sure there are people.
Well, yeah, there probably are people, but on the East Coast, not as much.
No, on the East Coast, no.
Yeah, because that's
if you're like a California
flight.
person, you might be like, yeah, I'm going to take that nice long flight to Hawaii to go to Aulani.
Right.
Because it's still a long flight from there to there.
It's like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, it'd be about 10.
It's not a hop, skip away.
No, and you have to fly over an ocean. Ugh.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, again, this is the information. You do what's best for you.
It's like, I think
I would love to add on one day. But
yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Like down the road, be like, if something opens up, be like, yeah, let's then we can just get like the more like bigger rooms and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it makes a difference.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess another thing to mention to you is, if your priorities change or something after you've bought into DVC and like, you're just like, well, we're just not going as much.
I'm not going to this place ever again.
To get enough use out of it, you can
sell it.
You can sell your contract, but Disney has the first right of refusal. So that, means that if you're going to sell your contract, you have to let Disney know, and they will either buy it back from you or not. And another thing to note too is you can buy used contracts from Disney.
Yeah.
That people have sold back. I've looked into it before, especially for like Bay Lake Tower, and it's still
expensive.
They're still charging the same like kind of price point that they did when it was new, or more. So it's not amazing. And another thing too is, if you are buying a resale, you do not get any of the perks of DVC. Yeah, you don't get like
discounts and stuff.
You don't get the discounts. You don't get
Why?
I don't know. I think because they're missing out on getting additional money from you. I don't know.
It's weird. All right.
I don't really know. But yeah, you don't get any of the perks. You can't attend Moonlight Magic.
You can't stay with us.
Yeah. So
tell them where you can find us.
You can find us
every time.
I know. I thought I was going to get it that time.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't.
Yeah. All right. You can find us on Instagram at Backlot Tours. You can find us on our website at backlottours.com. You can find us on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Podcasts.
We're on YouTube. What are you talking about?
I told you. It just automatically uploads. It's not going to be like a video. It's just going to be...
These are on YouTube?
Yes.
Who's watching this on YouTube? It's just like
people.
A black screen?
Has our logo.
This is wild. I didn't know I had that.
Once we eventually get those vlogs out there.
Well, let me finish the Haunted Mansion outside wall before we do the inside wall, because I'm ramping it up right now.
Okay. Anyways, and if you'd like to plan your Disney vacation, please feel free to contact me, Jana at castleboundtravelco.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Take us home.
There's a great big pretty okay tomorrow.
And it's shining at the end of every day. Yeah.